Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cray Cray for episode 18. Jamie just renamed the show. It's no longer Positively Board Gaming. It's Cray Cray, which is what I said right before we started for episode 18. I am Mitchell Whitfield, joined by the incredibly talented and wonderful Jamie Stegmeyer from Stonemaier Games. Jamie, how are you? And a great new name you gave us.
For the record, I don't recall ever saying cray cray, but
No,
I guess
but
it's
you
all
repeated it. No, you're. I didn't want to get. I took ownership of it, so you wouldn't be accused of ever saying it. I know I was the one who put it out there, but I adopted it from you. How's that?
That's perfect, Mitchell. It's good to see you. Good to be hanging out with you for a few minutes to talk about some of the things that we're excited about today, that we're positive about today.
I love that. I love doing this every week. And again, whether you're watching us on the Stonemaier Games YouTube channel or on any podcast platform, we're happy that you join us, and we're always excited to get your comments. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, we want to hear," but we really do like hearing them. First of all, we get joy out of it. We like knowing how you guys receive what we are doing, but also you give us ideas, you give us talking points. Sometimes you'll give us answers to questions that we have. So we really do encourage and appreciate the participation that we're getting from this community. It's been amazing. More and more people seem to be listening to us every week, Jamie. I sort of track that stuff just to see who we're reaching and where. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see. I have to admit, I sit there and I look at the numbers. I'm like, oh, look, they're downloading and they're watching. That's so cool.
I'm glad you're excited about that. I get excited about the individual, the person who's watching us right now, connecting with what we're saying, watching or listening, and whoever you are, thank you for joining us for the next 30 minutes. Where we're going to talk about some things that we love. So, Mitchell, what about you? Do you have a treat of the day, an indulgence, something that you are excited about consuming, doing, seeing, hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
I will keep it simple. I'll keep it consumable today. Today will be a consumable answer, an answer to be consumed, and it's a treat that was consumed. So, Jamie, you are now familiar with See's candies because I've sent you some.
Yes.
And I know you've bought some on your own as well.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, See's is a chocolatier, I think based actually in Los Angeles. And when I first came out here, my wife still teases me. I was a chocolate snob. I was like, See's candy, is it like Godiva? Is it any good? I had like this total snobby attitude. I think I might have even said it's a pedestrian chocolate, which is a terrible thing to say. It was very judgy, and I take it back 100 times. I don't even say that about anything. I was just joking with her, but to this day, she still teases me. So See's candy is wonderful. They make just if you just want a basic dark milk, whatever you like, hazelnut. They make different types of toffee infused, just really good stuff. So they make, and this really kills me because they don't have it throughout the year. It's a very simple, almost like imagine like a saucer shape, like a flying saucer. It's chocolate covered marshmallow, milk chocolate covered marshmallow. Now, chocolate and marshmallow are just wonderful. Mallomars made that clear years ago, although that's dark chocolate technically, but still chocolate and marshmallow, many candies do it. Wonderful. See's does it with this great milk chocolate they have, and it's a very special tasting milk chocolate, and it's very simple. It's this, like I said, this like flat, round, almost like a saucer of marshmallow covered milk chocolate. Now, they don't. I always go in there and I always say, "You tell them they should have this throughout the year." They don't have it throughout the year, which bothers me. You know what bothers me? Of course, I'm telling you, but you can actually see me getting annoyed. This is Positively Board Gaming. I'm taking you to a very dark place. I get annoyed when I can't have my chocolate. You won't like me when I'm hungry, right? So, but in their defense, they do find excuses to put it out, and it's all the same shape. So I think they try and make it like for Valentine's Day in a heart-ish shape, but it's still mostly round. For Halloween, they do it like a jack-o'-lantern. It's always the same thing. And now for the summer, they put out that same shape thing, and they call it the Summer Beach Ball Marshmallow and chocolate. They have to just put it out throughout the year. You don't have to rename it anything. It's always there. I sucked one of these things down. I thought I was going to go into a sugar coma last night, Jamie. Tracy and my daughter are out of town.
Just from one of them?
I mean, it's so super sweet. I have to admit, it's pretty big. It's like remember your wall of chocolate cake, how you had to come back to it and chip away at it. It's one of those things you should really chip away at, but I consumed way too much. I think like one of my eyes closed. I had to go sit down for a minute, but it was great. What about you? What's your treat of the day?
Well, normally I would share it here. And I do love my treats, but I'm going to kind of wrap it into my topic today. So
I love that. Let's go.
It's going to be part of that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, then. All right. So look at me getting like, okay. Mr. Literate, here I go. I wanted to share this with you before you start. I want to share this with you. And whoever's watching, if you're actually watching us in video form on the Stonemaier Games channel, you will see this. So, I'm a sucker for dice. And I'm a sucker for the pretty and the shiny. I'm like, I have the attention span of a 3-year-old. I'm like, oh, what is that? It's glittery. I have to see it. So I guess it was during Prime Week. I ordered one of them, and I've since ordered another. That's another story. So it's a giant die. Okay, it's a
Oh
metal
wow.
die, and you can't really tell how heavy it is. And by the way, it's also huge. It's not like a small die.
Yeah.
But it's like part die, part fidget spinner. But if you're playing any sort of RPG, as most people know, if you've played an RPG, and if you haven't, a lot of it is based on rolling. Rolling dice. Rolling for when you're fighting. It's just there are many different ways to use dice when you're playing an RPG. Okay, tabletop RPG, and you usually have different dice that you use. You'll have a 20 sided, they call them D20s, D12s. That denotes how many sides the die has, right? So I'm just telling this for people that don't know. If I say, oh, D12, so instead of having all those dice for playing an RPG, this has these spinners built in, and you see I can hold them. First of all, it's you see, it's cool, right? So it has these,
really cool.
so it's really satisfying. All the little, and each side is a different die. The Minotaur, which one is this? Is this like a D8? I think this is a D8. The Minotaur side's a D8. So if you were rolling this thing, you would roll the Minotaur and stop it, and then wherever the pointer, there's like a little white pointer on the corner, wherever that's pointing, that's what the roll is.
That is really clever.
It is really clever. So you have really 6 dice in one giant heavy metal die.
Who made that?
I actually pulled it up because I thought you'd ask.
Yeah, people might be. I'm already interested. I know other people might be interested too.
Okay, so Amazon. Okay, it's a DND spinner dice, 7-in-1 die. So yeah, and I think they're about $30. And again, I know that seems a lot for a die, but it's not. It's giant, it's heavy, it's really heavy. It could be like a little paperweight in your room. It's beautiful. Even the artwork, like every different die side has different artwork. So this is the dragon, and then there's that's a mimic right there. I think that's a mimic, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's a beholder, and then so it's like again, it puts, trying to get it on there. Yeah, so you can see it. And the artwork is really, it's really, engraving is nice. It has some heft to it. So I had to share this with you. We don't usually do like cool like things here, but this is so cool. And when you put it on your desk, it's lying on one of the actual spinners. So you can spin it on your desk and it spins in place. It gives me so much joy throughout the day, Jamey. It's the silliest thing, and I thought you'd appreciate it. I'll send you a link for it later. You can pick one up.
I would absolutely. I mean, in so many different ways, that's cool. And I do have a question. When you did the thing where so if you're not watching, Mitchell is kind of holding it with 2 fingers and then he's spinning the entire die sometimes. Is that for a roll? Is that for a D4 roll, or is that just for fun?
Oh, that's just for someone that likes to have fidget spinners in their hands. That's really what it is. Yeah, there's no purpose to that, because again, when you're rolling, you're actually spinning the one die face that you want to. If I could learn how to use a camera, and then whatever it lands on, I tend to stop it so you don't leave it to chance. So in case I'm sure it's not like a perfectly weighted balanced die that you would use, like a high end die that you would use. But if you just spin it and then stop it with your finger, it's random. It's random. So it's I'm going to send you a link to this. So stupid.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. So you don't have a before we start, do you? You have your everything is tied into your main.
I have a main today that I think works really well for our format. And if it works out, it's something that I might do every now and then. Like if I don't have another default topic, I think this could work in general just for fun.
Okay.
Do you want me to jump into it and give it a try?
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see what's going on.
So one of my favorite things that we do at Stonemaier Games that isn't directly related to our own games, but is rather related to us being people who enjoy consuming things, watching things, playing other things other than what we do at Stonemaier Games. We're not just machines that pump out games. We're people that do a lot of other things and have a lot of loves. Is the Stuff We Love page on the Stonemaier Games website. Have you ever seen the Stuff We Love page by any chance?
I don't think I have, but I'm going to go right now. Yeah.
You don't have to go check it out right now. In fact, don't check it out right now, because what I'm going to do here is this is a page that originally I was the only one at Stonemaier Games that put stuff on here, but over time, my coworkers also add to it. And it's like categories like Joe right now has his favorite nonfiction book. He has his favorite TV show that he's watching right now, or that he's just enjoying right now. He has a wine varietal that he enjoys. He has the category of Italian snack. Alex has his favorite tabletop game right now. He has an RPG accessory called Dwarven Forged Terrain. Going in the list, I think people have different calendar reminders set on here. I do one once a month where I kind of update my list. And so today I thought, because this is about things that we love and that's fully in line with our podcast, I thought we'd do a little kind of lightning round where I share the current things on my list. I'll say my thing, say the category. And if you have something, Mitchell, that comes to mind, you can share it. You can also just pass if nothing comes to mind right away. That's fine. You want to give that a try?
Yeah, why not? Come on, let me get a little higher pitch. Yes, let's do it. Yeah.
So I will start from the bottom of my list because the bottom of my list, the category is chocolate, food, and local, since we were talking about treats of the day. Right. And the thing that I have on there right now is that I recently went to a local coffee shop, a new local coffee shop, locally owned. There's just one of them called Pass the Past. And they had a summer special Earl Grey coffee. I think it's like a London fog coffee drink with some peach in it and some condensed milk, sweet condensed milk. If anyone's in St. Louis and you want to check out Pass the Pass, this drink was really good. So Mitchell, you have already shared. I can give you a free pass here, unless you want to throw in a local thing, but you did talk about it.
I'll throw in a local thing as well.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Even though it's a new chain, I don't know how far it expands. Being a New Yorker, I'm talking about me being snobby about chocolate. I'm even worse about pizza. I've been living in California for like 30-something years. It's hard to find great pizza when you grew up in New York City because the East Coast in general has some, and a lot of it's the water. So there's a pizzeria that opened here called Prince Street Pizza, and I grew up like a few blocks from Prince Street. I was like, well, if it's named Prince Street, it better be good. Again, my snobbiness is, I'm not painting an attractive picture of myself today. Trust me, I'm a nicer person than this a little bit. And we went there for the opening, and it was wonderful. Ooh, crisp, thin crust pizza, which is what the kind of New York pizza I like. That when you pick up the slice, it doesn't droop down, it just stands at attention straight out. It was really good. And we tried different stuff that I'd normally not do, like a vodka sauce pizza, a white slice. There were different, like spicy Sicilian Brooklyn style pizza. It was wonderful. And I don't know how many locations they have, but I was so happy that one opened near us because now I can say, yeah, we got a pretty good local pizzeria. I'm no longer the angry New Yorker, like 30 years I've been waiting. What is wrong with you people in California? So yeah, we just tried that the other day and it's local and we're thrilled and we loved it.
That's awesome. I love New York style pizza. So and I probably have never had the real deal. I've never had it in New York. So I'll have to try this place if I see it in St. Louis.
And by the way, Jamie, if you hear like snoring or weirdness, our older dog, Jake, is in the background. He's sleeping here because sometimes if I leave him alone, my wife's on vacation with my daughter with some friends. So I keep him with me because sometimes he doesn't know where he is. He's like, and he'll start to whine. I figure if he's here, he'll kind of see me. So if you hear snoring, it's not me. My eyes are open. Yeah. It's Jake. So yeah, go ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have Jake with us today.
Thank you. Me too.
I added the category this month of my favorite, a sport that I'm really enjoying right now. And I picked disc golf. I'm more for either watching or playing. I've been watching some really good European tour disc golf. A lot of Americans are there too. It's Europeans and Americans, but I love watching disc golf or playing disc golf. And that's what I've been enjoying. Have you been enjoying watching or playing a sport recently?
Absolutely. I haven't been able to play that much recently. I'm working myself back to hopefully being able to play.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of soccer lately because I think there was the America's Cup, and I was watching that because my wife played soccer, so did my sister-in-law, so they very much enjoyed it. And they sort of looped me into it, and it was really, really good. It was really, and a lot of new players are infused on the American team right now, so it's fun to watch Team USA sort of evolve and develop with different players. And that's the fun part about aging. You get to see new players come in, and that constant mishmash of older and younger players, and it's been wonderful. And then baseball, sitting outside, turning on the TV and just watching my New York Mets and appreciating my friends who like the Dodgers, but agreeing to disagree, and liking my Mets. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of watching both of those.
Nice. Next up, I have television. I'm always watching a few shows. At night, we're watching a show called High Potential, which is on Disney and Hulu Plus, or Disney Plus and Hulu. It's kind of a mystery solving show with a really good protagonist. St. Dennis Medical was on this past year. We're catching up now. That's our lunchtime show. A good half-hour comedy in the vein of like Abbott Elementary and The Office.
Oh, I love those.
Really enjoying that.
Yeah.
And then I'm continuing to love Dropout.tv, the streaming service for a lot of comedy style, like improv shows. Oh, wow. There's a show on there. I love Game Changer is the main one that I really love, but I also enjoy Dirty Laundry, which is a little game where they play where it's four people sitting around. The host reads a secret that one of them has shared, and the four people try to guess whose secret
it is. Oh,
and so kind of just telling good stories from their life and kind of guessing who is the match for it. Those are my shows right now. What are you enjoying on TV right now?
By the way, that has a little bit of a party game. That has a party game written all over it.
Totally.
It totally has a party game. Stonemeyer's next new one, new hotness. Write it down. So Tracy and I have always been Dexter fans. I know that show's not for everyone. It's very dark, very well done show. and the latest iteration is Dexter Resurrection. So
Mhm.
that's been our show at night. It's funny that we have like different time of day shows. We watch a lot of HGTV, House Hunters. There's like, we talk about like things that comfort food, comfort shows, comfort games. These all fit right in. So we've been
Yeah.
watching the new Dexter show, Resurrection. I've been watching a lot of our HGTV shows, which we watch. And my personal guilty pleasure show, I have on like an endless rotation. I'm either watching Fringe or Grimm. Right
Mhm.
now, we're on the Grimm rotation. So I've been watching, and we're getting to like season 5, and I'm starting to get emotional because I know what's coming. I'm such a sap. I get so emotional knowing what's coming up, and I have the
That's
same
great.
reaction every time. So
Yeah.
yeah, so those are our latest.
Nice. I have a movie. Usually I've watched a few movies every week,
Okay.
and I've enjoyed some good movies lately, but I think the one that I'll pick for this is Sinners by Ryan Coogler. It was in the theaters a few months ago. It has Michael B. Jordan playing
Yes.
two
Okay.
people in the
Okay.
film. And Ryan Coogler, I think, if you ever get the chance to work with him as a director, I will be very jealous of you because I think he did the Black Panther movies.
Oh,
He is
so good.
incredible at these long shots and then some short shots too. Just an incredible director. I really enjoyed the movie. Do you have a movie that you've enjoyed lately?
Yes, but it's funny that you mentioned that because I love Black Panther. That movie is like, that's one that I watch over and over again. And as great as the content was, the performance, the writing, the visuals were so stunning.
Yeah.
He paints such great pictures with the camera. So yeah, you're right. I respond to that a lot. Tracy, I just saw Superman. So I'm thinking of like, and I'm only mentioning that because I realized, and especially this has been my business for years, I haven't been to the movie theater in so long. So it's like shame on me. I don't know why that is.
Mhm.
I know that COVID sort of put a damper on that, and for a lot of people, it changed the dynamic of how they consume content. A lot of people just watch at home because they have sometimes simultaneous releases now. But it was so nice to be in the theater, and Superman was fun. I mean, it's not going to
Yeah.
redefine filmmaking as we know it, but it was a fun movie, and it's like I'm one of those people that even if a movie has a couple of scenes that I just really loved or made me laugh or made me react in some way, I had a good time. I was out with my boy. My son wanted to see a movie with me. He said, let's go see. I was like, let's do it. So it was really fun, but I want to see Sinners. I've heard great things about that, so I want to see that as well.
Nice. We also saw Superman in the theater and really enjoyed that.
It was fun, right? It's fun.
Yeah. The book, I always reading a few books. My book right now, I'm going to pick The Lodge by Kayla Olson. It's a kind of just a cozy rom-com. It's very new to me that I found that I love rom-com movies, and it's fairly new to me that I found that there's a great genre of books that does very similar things to the movies. And this one, The Lodge, I just really enjoyed this rom-com, especially since the characters were so consistently likable. They didn't do classic rom-com trope things where for a third of the movie you don't like one of the characters because they made a dramatic choice or a choice that isn't that doesn't resonate with me. I think Kayla Olson did a fantastic job with this book, The Lodge.
Oh, that's awesome.
Are you reading anything?
I'm not. I haven't read anything recently, and you inspired me because I also bought the game Mistborn. Okay.
Yeah.
And it made me think. I'm trying to think in what IP, what story should I dive into, because there are so many books that he's written, and I don't really know which. And I was going to ask you actually, what would you recommend that I dive into? I love high fantasy. I mean, I love straight fantasy, high fantasy. So is there a trilogy, a book series that you would recommend? Because I'm looking to dive in. My wife loves to read at night, and I would like to start doing that with her as well. So do you have a recommendation for me in the fantasy world? Because that's,
I bet you will
like
get different responses in the comments, and I hope we do get some comments.
Oh yeah, this is a great thing for comments. Absolutely.
Mine would probably be the first Mistborn trilogy, which I think is a fantastic self-contained. Like the story does continue. It jumps like 200 years ahead afterward, and he does another trilogy or another 4 books. But by itself, it is still a very self-contained trilogy that is fantastic. I think it's one of my favorite trilogy novels of all time. So I would start there.
Start the first Mistborn, then that's what I will do. So next time we talk, that will be what I'm reading.
Awesome. I have, let's see, I only have about a minute left on my time, or, we try to estimate.
No, go for it. Do your thing.
Let me do 2 more. I'll go with, we're a podcast. I'll give a shout out to another gaming related podcast. And this one I'll give to Dice Jesters. It's a couple who they do this thing where they play a game 10 times. And so they play it once and they record their reactions after playing it once for about 10 minutes, and then they play it another 9 times, and then within the same episode they like edit it together, they do another 20-minute discussion about
Oh,
that
wow.
remaining 9 plays of a game. And I just really admire that because there are so many content creators, including myself, who oftentimes play a game once or twice and then talk about it. And this couple is consistently playing it 10 times. That's Dice Jesters. I'm really enjoying that. Do you have any
Wow.
gaming related podcasts, a tabletop or video game that you're enjoying?
You know what? I've been watching and listening to a lot. Recently, I've been watching some more Dice Tower. I know there's a big lull since they moved to their new location, and I'm trying. You ever watch or listen to Keeper Cull? It's the couple. I don't. They're trying to purge their board game collections. And they give different reasons what they keep and why. What they get. For some reason, I'm fascinated by that. Not because I want to see what are they getting rid of. I like to. I'm more interested in what they keep and why.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of their videos and listening to them. And there was one other. Oh, it's going to kill me. It's going to be after the show. I'll be like, that was it. But that's what's coming to mind right now.
Okay,
That's coming to mind right now. Yeah.
And then we'll do one more about a tabletop game, actually. So when we were on this gaming cruise, Ravensburger, for some reason, decided to give everyone who was on the gaming cruise a copy of a game. And usually when I get a free game at a convention, I'm a little hesitant about that. Like most of the publishers trying to get rid of it. But we played it the other day. This game is called Gloomies. It's a relatively new abstract game that's fairly tough to describe.
Is it a small box game? Is it a smaller box game?
Smaller box game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about planting flowers for the first half of the game, and then you go and pick those flowers in the second half of the game.
Okay.
But I was actually surprised by it. Like it was a game that I will definitely play again, which I don't say about every game, but I enjoyed it. I would play it again. So I'm delighted by a free game actually being a lot of fun. And that's in my new game category. Do you have a newer game that unless this is going to be your topic today, do you have a newer game that you're enjoying?
I do actually. And that was actually going to be originally my before we start, but this is a perfect opportunity. And by the way, I find it interesting that you have the same assumption that I do. And it shows you how we can just be wrong when it comes to things. Like the assumption is if you're getting something for free, there's a reason for it. I won't say it's because it's not great. I'm saying that there's that clinical or that critical thinking where you're just like, okay, if I'm getting this for free, how great can it really be if they're willing to give away free? Why wouldn't they? Right. And I've been so surprised so many times, not just with games, but on so many different levels. Like, oh my gosh. And I think because again, my expectations were low.
Yeah.
Whatever experience I got out of that was going to be better because I didn't have my expectations set very high. So maybe it's good. Maybe we should continue thinking like that because you can only be pleasantly surprised from that. I was going to say I shouldn't think like that, but no, it's not a bad thing because we always end up being either one, not disappointed, or pleasantly surprised. So it really isn't a bad outcome if you set your folks aim low. That's what we're trying to tell you here on Positively Board Gaming. I totally get that. I have the same point of view, and I'm glad it was a good experience. We started Arydia. I told you we were going to start Arydia last time we talked. We have started, but you start. There's a preamble, and then there's the first quest, which is geared toward teaching you the game.
Right.
But the preamble, which I call it, they don't call it that. It's basically the game and character setup. Is all we did in the first session. That was about an hour and a half. Because I said to my brother, I said, Lee and Nicole, you guys are going to have to arrange the game, make sure the cards are set up, make sure the dividers are set up because it's a card-based game. I think you're familiar with drawing cards that are in order, Jamie. You might be familiar with a game like that because cards that are perfectly ordered and there's a reason for it, right? So we had to set it up and then you had to pick your character and then create your miniature, which was to take the character body because Arydia comes with minis that you attach the head to depending on, and something really cool that they did. And I think I'll have to go back and make sure I'm correct about this. They didn't say whether there are two different portraits you can go for, and they didn't say male or female, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Because people can feel excluded from that. And I get that. And it's really which portrait resonated more with you and which head of the character based on that portrait resonated more with you. And I thought that was a really cool thing that they did, and especially in times like now where we're having so many issues with intolerance and people not understanding, what the new normal is in terms of older generations. Like, I don't understand. It's like, well, you know what? There are different people out there that identify differently, and to not put a label on that in the game, I thought was super cool. So that was one thing that stuck out to me. But creating that character, and you have your tuck box for your save of your character, right? Then you have your character box, which is separate. And then the save part gets put in the tuck box from there. And then you have your character rule book, which is completely different from everything else from the campaign and the rule book. So there is a lot to consume, but I didn't feel I felt overwhelmed at the beginning because, oh my God, I had no idea there was this much stuff going on. But
Yeah.
once I settled down, I thought, oh, okay, it's just multiple steps, but nothing here is like, oh, I can't wrap my head around this. And I think once the game is finally set up, it becomes much more plug and play. Okay, let's get your tuck box out, put your things in front of you, and let's go. Let's dive into the next adventure. But we spent about the first hour and a half, hour and 45, our first session, just getting familiar with the different rule books, how the flow of the game is going to work in terms of our characters. So at first I was a little like, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? And then I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to do this. So it was that transformation. So I'm sure the next time we talk, we will have already had that first, that first campaign. And I will tell you, but you'll see me sitting there like, oh, how did I do it? I don't know how I did it. But yeah, we're really excited. And we have a couple others that we're going to start too. But Arydia has finally made it to the table. And of course, as soon as Vantage gets here, so my brother has his copy, darn him, we will start that as well. So I'm excited to do that as well.
I'm excited to hear your both adventures in both games. And thanks for indulging my different format today for my segment. And I will, for anyone who followed along who wants to answer those questions too, I will put a link to the Stuff We Love page in the description, so you can just click on that and see the categories.
I love that.
That's awesome. I enjoyed the back and forth, Mitchell. So it was great to hear mine and hear yours as well.
This is great. We should do this all the time. Right, here are the topics. Pick your 5. Oh, I wasn't ready. And I wasn't ready, but it was still fun, and I still contributed. So, hey, there's something, right?
That's good. So I haven't left a ton of time for you, but so we might go a little long today. But why don't you share what you were going to talk about?
You know what? This is perfect because mine is not too terribly. It's not going to take up a lot of time, but I do want input from you. So I do want that. So, you hear a lot of people say, games I'd like, and again, this is like such a divisive category only because of how you define these categories. And I'll explain what I'm talking about in a second. So you hear people say games I'd love to see a new edition of.
Okay.
Well, what does that mean? Does that mean or a new printing of? And people don't always mean what we think they mean, or we assume they mean something and it's something else. So
right.
They're different. When people say they want a reprint of something, do they mean, well, this game is out of print right now, they haven't made new copies in a while, they'd like to see them manufacture more of them so they can get that version of it? Or do they mean they want a more modern version of a game with the same rule set, but just looking a little different and different box art? Or do they mean a second edition? So there are multiple meanings here, right? When people say they want a new edition of something, I always question like, well, what do you mean? Do you mean you just want it back in print? Do you mean you want it prettier? Do you want new rules that would change some of the stuff that didn't resonate with you or that you didn't understand? So I think what I'm going to say here is mostly just reprint / prettier, but you'll see what I mean, because these are all games I love. These aren't games like, oh man, if this were nice, I'd love it. These are all games that I love. So I'm starting by saying that. First one is, and this is a game that just needs to be back in print. And although I don't think it might not ever happen, because Fantasy Flight already put out a sort of skinned version of it with, is it the
Unfathomable,
right?
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
I would love to see, you played Battlestar Galactica?
I watched the show, play the game. Yeah.
I love the show. I love the game. And for people that aren't familiar with it, to me, if you love like hidden trader type of games with a good core structure to the game as well, Battlestar Galactica is just, and again, this is an older game. I can't remember the last time it was actually in print. Was it in the late 90s, early 2000s? I don't know.
I'm going to put maybe 10 to 15 more years ago, but it's been a while that it's been in print.
It's been a long time. And my brother has a copy. And I'm trying to think of ways to shame and blackmail him. So we'll have to get is that wrong?
Positively board gaming.
I'm joking. No, I'm kidding. But every time I go to New York, and he has like a great area in his apartment where his board games are, and I looked at it like, ooh, Battlestar. I am your older brother. I don't know how long I'll be around. I told you I could use shaming. I could use anything, Jamey. I don't care. I have a lot of weapons at my disposal. I really, when it comes to this, I will use any weapon. So no, he has that game. I would love to see back in print. Now there's another game that is still in print, but I don't think it's changed much. And I'd love to see it with, I don't know. You tell me, Lords of Waterdeep. I love this game. I know you love this game as well.
I do love this game. Yeah.
And I don't think the version that's out has changed much in a long time, has it?
Not
I
that I
think it's
know
been,
of.
and not that it needs to. Again, the gameplay, everything about it is wonderful. And again, I sort of, I upgraded my meeples by buying stickers for them. So now all my
Mhm.
meeples have little stickers on them. So they look like little people,
Yeah.
which is great. But I thought, wouldn't it be fun if Lords of Waterdeep had like little miniatures? I don't know. I'm like fantasizing here of like a game that I
Mm.
already love. And I'm like, oh, could it be like if they were going to put out a new version, what would I do with it? Oh, maybe I make
Mhm.
like little miniatures with it or acrylic standees. I don't know. But I'm just like, I'm spitballing. And like, that's another game that I love. And I always like take out and look and I'm like, I wonder if they're ever going to put out like a deluxe, pretty version of it. But, and again, a game doesn't have to be beautiful to be an amazing
Mhm.
game. There are so many games and the most recent one is another game that I love and you love it. And I think you really like as well. One that we've talked about before. And this is a little different. This is Comic Hunters. And part of
Yes.
what
Yeah.
makes this great to me is the accessibility in terms of price.
Yes.
It's such an accessible game. You can again, I think I bought my second copy for like $13 on Amazon, which is crazy,
Yeah.
especially when you consider it has the Marvel license. And again, the comic books, and I thought to myself, well, Jamie's talked about, he's done like these great foil cards. Could you imagine
Oh
if
yeah.
some of those
Foil would work
comic
great with
cards
that.
were like,
Yeah.
if they did something with the
Holographic.
foil cards, or again, if they got some sort of acrylic sendies or like the piece, like maybe a slightly deluxified version. And again, because this is a positively board game, I need to reiterate, these are not things that are necessary to enjoy the game or to make them, these games are wonderful all on their own. This is me fantasizing. Like if I could infuse like my love for like the pretty, or if I could put a foil, where would I do? I'd love to do with this. So do you have a game that you'd like to, either that's been out of print for a while that you'd like to see come back, or because I'm seeing a lot of games, even games like Parks, which I love the original Parks. I didn't think it needed a refresh at all, but they put it out in a beautiful, different, and it looks great. I have them both, and they're great. Are there any games that you thought like, man, I'd love to see either back in print, or man, if I could see this with some new art? Do you think about stuff like that, or you just focus on the gameplay? I realize I'm sort of like, I love the way stuff looks. The aesthetics are always there for me, but do you care about that stuff as much?
I do think about it from time to time.
Okay.
Coincidentally, the one category I left off my stuff we love list were older tabletop games that I played recently, and the two games on that list happen to be new versions of older games, and those were a game called Calimala. It's a word placement game where I played it the other day, and I had no reference for the older Kalimala, but the new version had Ian O'Toole art. It was just a really beautiful production.
Of course,
and then Rumble Nation is a game that I love. I love Rumble Nation.
I never played Rumble Nation.
I'll have to show it to you. It's on Board Game Arena. I'm happy to teach it to you at any time. We played it on Board Game Arena recently. It's new on Board Game Arena, and so on Board Game Arena, the differences aren't all that much different than the original version. So I need to actually play the new version of the game to see. But if you have the chance to look at the box of the old Rumble Nation versus the new box I think is stunning. I don't think they changed all that much about the art or even the gameplay in the game, but just that a box refresh sometimes can, I think, have a big impact on the game. And I love the look of the new box.
That's a really good point, because sometimes it's just a matter of catching the eye.
Yeah.
And they're great games that, and again, because so many people, myself included, although I'm not solely driven by the visuals. I mean, I love when a game is pretty, obviously, but it's not going to stop me if a game isn't like jumping out at me. But I think you hear so many people being visual learners, which we talked about in last week's episode, being drawn to things visually that, but again, we talk about, there's so many games, Quacks, which, I know you talked about on your channel recently as well. I had my old box sort of taped together, with the things. I was like, I was happy with that, but it's like, the new version, and it comes with the acrylic pieces, which I think was the best thing, because those acrylic pieces, you really need them. You really need to hold those different chips and the different colors. They really popped on there, the blue. So that was really cool. So there's some games that are not even on my or your anyone else's radar for needing something a little snazzy, and again, it's so subjective. It's so subjective. But then if you see a new box, you're like, oh, wow. Oh yeah, I forgot. And sometimes it just reminds you, it's a great opportunity for a publisher to remind people, hey, this game is still here. It's still amazing. And let's get a fresh set of eyes on it with a fresh look. And I think sometimes, and I think you could probably speak to that as a publisher, thinking that, okay, let's, why not put it out there again, put it in a new box. Let's see if people, respond, and remind people what a great game this is,
Yeah. I think that's for me, it's always a delicate balance of how do I respect everyone who's already invested in this game.
Right.
And it's why I generally try to avoid doing new editions or deluxe editions or collector's editions or all in editions, because, but there is that flip side of how of reminding people that this game still exists, that's been around
Right.
for 10 years or so on. So it's a delicate balance, I think, for publishers to decide. But if a game really has gone out of print, I think that's a great excuse to decide
Oh God,
why
yeah.
has it gone out of print, and how, if it was a great game, how can we bring it back into print and make it special again, bring people's attention to it.
Well, you know what? I really like what, I understand what you're saying, but I also like what you did with the essential editions.
Yes.
That's also a great opportunity, taking the people, if there was a particular expansion that people responded to the most, okay, let's take that
Mhm.
expansion. Let's take that. In some cases, let's expand the rule set to include something from one of the expansions. Let's truncate the explanation here. And I think
Right.
that's wonderful. And I think, again, I don't think people feel slighted that already have that content, because if they love the game, odds are they have that expansion. But if someone is new to the game, you're sort of value adding to something. If they don't have it yet, okay, well, you're probably going to want to have this expansion, which most
Right.
people seem to want to play with anyway. And it's a great way to give a value added to people that don't have the game. So, you do it in your own way, and I think it works very well. I approve of what you're doing, Jamey.
I appreciate you highlighting that, honestly, because that has been the compromise for me, to say, okay, I'm not changing the content. I am
Right.
just putting it together so that you can have the best of the game and the expansion. And oftentimes we've been able to pull it off at the same price that the game was, because I don't know, we did some production magic to make that work. So yeah, well,
I'm
great
not
topic,
going to
Mitchell. I love
This
talking
is
about this,
fun.
and I'm curious to hear what people think in the comments, both about my rapid fire lightning round questions and a game that they'd like to see refreshed in some way, and what they mean by that. I like that you
Right.
defined what they mean by that, or a game that they played recently that has been refreshed that they enjoyed. Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe for some people out there, there's a game that has stood the test of time that you just,
Oh
what?
yeah.
You don't need to do anything with this. And
Yeah.
I could almost say that for any of the three games that I mentioned, because I'm
Mhm.
going to be playing them regardless of what happens, because they're just so wonderful. So for
Yeah.
some people, if you have a game that sticks out to you that needs absolutely nothing and just
Mm.
has that evergreen sort of look to it, feel to it, style of play, I'd love to hear about that too. So this is really cool. I embrace the rapid fire rounds that you're bringing, and I want to do this some more. So we should definitely do it again. And this has
Awesome.
actually been episode 18. I got the
That's right.
numbers right this time. We are 3 away from being grown-ups, Jamey. I don't usually use the grown-ups term, because I don't want to ever feel like I need to be a grown-up. And when I reach that point, I think it's going to be sad for me. So I don't really talk about the GU, the grown-up thing, but we'll be there very soon.
And we've talked about, Mitchell and I have talked about doing a live
Yes.
episode for episode 21. We'll announce that when we get closer to it, if the scheduling works out. But upcoming, and probably on episode 21, we'll do a live episode where we'll do it live, and we'll answer questions. We'll have discussions with you in real time. So I look forward to announcing that in advance. We won't throw it on you by surprise.
And I'm looking forward to being a part of it, because I always get jealous that I always watch Jamey's live videos, and I watch them afterwards on YouTube. I'm like, I should have been there for him typing in things. Just a smiley face from Mitchell. It's like, yeah, because he really wants to see that. Anyway, thank you, Jamey, for doing
Thanks,
this.
Mitchell. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, and I am looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this show, and doing another one for you next time. So we will see you soon.
sounds great. Take care.